This is Andy Beads, the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion, and you're listening to the Escape Pod Cast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience. All right, where's the record button so I can do this message? Yeah, I don't see it. Hold on.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Pod Cast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
An episode 3.5 years in the making.
The Season 6 finale of the Escape Podcast is now here.
We normally have a radio drama for you at the end of the show.
But this time around, we thought we'd celebrate in a different kind of way.
We will bring to you, with a limited commercial interruption, SB Crumb of Capital Gains.
After we, of course, catch up with you, Neil, on last week's news.
Ugh, do we have to?
Well, there are people that enjoy your take, and it wouldn't be fair to deprive them.
Fine, we'll do it live.
Always with that joke.
It's going to be a fun and informative evening tonight.
We really do hope you will stay tuned.
A new Dickie and the Noob.
And of course, Patreon's Choice on the Bridge.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, the Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, yeah, it's been a close one today, hasn't it?
It was a very, very close one. And yes, Big Country Mags, we are really live. The entire show is live, no net. So it should be a very, very fun one. Right now, the bot is not working, so our moderators will be moderating by hand today. So thank you.
Nothing wrong with a little manual labor.
Yes, thank you to our moderators, though. We appreciate all of you. All right, so Neil, we missed you last week. You self-imposed a suspension for being too overly critical or something like that.
No. You see, my body was stolen by Bob, right? It was a classic Red Dwarf body swap episode. I was like the cat. I woke up in the morning and I was just a floating head, Now I know what that guy from RoboCop 2 felt like when he was just floating in a jar, waiting to be put into a killing machine. So, yeah.
Oscar Meow coming in early with 5 community subs. Thank you, Oscar. We appreciate it.
Meow.
Yes,
meow.
So let's get caught up. Conquest Volume 7, Neil.
I haven't left Sector 1 yet.
Are you playing on hard or normal?
Oh, no, I'm on hard.
Okay.
I haven't got to the end of Sector 1 yet.
I went for normal, and I'm enjoying it much more. I really am enjoying Conquest much more playing on normal. So
good.
I don't know how else to put it. The grind is unbearable.
Yeah.
But when you actually, get a chance to play with your toys, it's great. Thank you, Cass, for the 200 bits. We are currently 3 minutes. We got a countdown of 3 minutes for a hype train. If anybody wants to get a season 6 finale hype train going, we will acknowledge everybody who has helped cause the train and donated through it. Once we finish with the opening monologue because it's only one segment. It's only one segment today because Crumb is joining us at the top of the hour.
Oh, right. He's joining us at the top of the hour.
At the top of the hour. So we're going to have a full hour with Capital Games' SB Crumb.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. I've seen him on other streams, and don't get me wrong. We like having him on, and we'll be fair. It'll be 30 minutes of fluff, and then 30 minutes of.
I mean,
30. It'll be 30 minutes of. Please take this back to your bosses. Very much so. So yeah.
It's definitely we're gonna have some fun. I mean, I'm sure he understands your current state of mind with the game, and he wouldn't be coming on the show if he didn't. So
when have I ever thrown him a softball? Especially when we're talking about my beloved GAC game mode. He knows how much I love GAC. I even, what was it when they messed up, when they did version 3.0, I was like, I blogged it. I'm like, okay, that's it. Stop CG. Don't do anything else to GAC, because I saw what you did with Conquest and I didn't like it. And I really don't want you to do the same thing to GAC. So, because I can live without Conquest. I'm not one of these people that it's like, oh, we need no, we don't need more. We don't need more. We just need the game modes that we like to continue to be fun, And I'm not a conquest guy or a challenge guy, but I don't need to be, because there's more than enough for me to do in the game.
So, what were your thoughts when you saw that a character? I don't mean to be putting words in your mouth, but that a character that had less screen time than Lord Vader will be getting a conquest character. And
I have absolutely nothing invested in Ben Solo. Nothing. I'm not in. I have nothing vested in that character whatsoever. So people that to some people, he may be like Mara Jade is to me. But he's no Mara Jade. I don't do Conquest, so any characters that come at me through Conquest, it's like, well, maybe I'll get them at some point down the line, but I'm not in a rush to get them. I'm not going to kill myself. It's not physically possible. I do not physically have the time to grind through Conquest for a character I neither care about nor want. So, but that's not to say that the character's not good. I mean, I've read the kit. The character looks freaking awesome. I mean, I'm a little bit quizzical because, I thought Rey was the bestest ever. So why would the bestest ever character, tongue in cheek,
I was gonna say,
why would the bestest ever character, why would the character that is all the Jedi need
an unaligned Force user?
An unaligned Force user, Because if she's all the Jedi, she doesn't need unaligned Force users. She's all the Jedi. She should be boss as hell.
Okay, you're a Lord of the Rings fan, right?
Huh?
You like Lord of the Rings, right?
I am a fan. Yes, I'm not by any means, a scholar of
I'm not asking,
Lord of the Rings lore.
Okay, I'm not asking you to be a scholar in this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to refer to a scene that is just as campy, but everybody celebrates it when I don't know her name. She's fighting, I think, Sauron in the thing says, "I am no man." I mean, that quote of "I am all the Jedi" is just as off cuff as "I am no man." No man can defeat me. I am no man. I know the quote. I have no idea who the characters are.
That was an awesome scene. She was getting her butt kicked. She was getting her tail handed to her. And then the guy's like, no, man. It's like, and they're just like, surprise. And the guy's like so taken aback that she has the time to totally run him through with her sword. It's an awesome scene. That's an awesome, awesome scene. And the line works for that scene.
And so does, when Palpatine says, I am all the Sith, it's Rey just being cheeky as hell, saying, and I'm all the Jedi. Boom.
Yeah. Okay. So why does she need Ben Solo?
Because the game is not the movie, Neil. How you can have 5 Han Solos on the screen at one time? How the hell can you do that in Star Wars?
No, I just kind of I figured because we knew that Jabba was coming as a GL that there would be some accompanying character for like when we got Ahsoka around, Ahsoka came out to pair with GK, and then Maul came out to pair with Lord Vader. I just figured that they'd throw something, they'd throw a character in Conquest that was going to complement Jabba. That was all. That was my assumption. I mean, lots of people got caught off guard by this character, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with the kit is exquisite. He is going to be very, very boss in this game as long as you've got him with a Rey. But he's a Conquest character. So I'm
going to flip this. You were thinking that we get the Jabba Conquest counterpart in this Conquest, but it's going to take time. It's going to take plenty of time to get this done and also get the rest of the requirements for Jabba out to us. By the time that Conquest Volume 7 finishes, Conquest Volume 8 will probably have the the complementary character. And by God, if it's Hondo, I'm gonna crap my pants. I'm just saying.
No, because the next one will be a ship.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, they've been going they've been throwing ships in there.
The first one was a ship,
Razor Crest. Then we had Ahsoka,
then character. Then we had
Dad
ship.
Boba, then another ship. Then we've had Malgus, Ben,
and
so
one more character.
So we might get one more character before we get the next ship. Yeah, I just figured with the profundity coming that they might throw something, they might throw a really, really good ship that would go with the profundity in Conquest, because it's we're talking about CG, they want people to have the best, but initially they want people to pay in order to get the best.
Thaddeus from Going Nerdy says, I will be pissed if Hondo is a Conquest character. He needs to be Galactic Legend level. No, Hondo is not a galactic legend, but he is a very important part of Star Wars. We've been saying that, and you know what? I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna verify with Crumb that sign got brought back to Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
I paid some good money for that sign.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Thaddeus also says, bite me, Paul. So, oh my gosh. So, I mean, we just wrapped up, just this past week, the first 3-week 3v3. How was it for you?
Oh, I hated it. I absolutely mega loathe it.
Why?
I can't believe I'm saying it. I just really, really, really dislike it.
Why?
I don't know. There's just something new about it. I mean, the datacons, and the matchmaking has just been. Ever since this new version of GAC's kicked in, I do really well in 5v5. And I get myself promoted, because when I do 3v3, I get relegated. I got relegated the last time this 3v3. I was relegated the previous 3v3. So, and then I have to fight like hell in 5v5 to get myself promoted back up to Kyber 3. I mean, I'm splitting hairs because the difference in rewards between 3 and 4 are negligible, but I like the comfort zone of being in 3. Now I'm in 4. I have to have a good 5v5 season, or I could potentially get relegated to 5. I just don't want to be anywhere near Division 5. I really, really don't.
I would absolutely agree. I would freak out if I was in 5. I wish I would have attacked my last round. I had a huge advantage in the last round, but I forgot to attack Sunday night and Monday morning, and it was out the window.
Yeah,
got a big fat goose egg for that round.
I mean, I avoided. Don't get me. I avoided the wooden spoon in all 3 weeks. And there's a tactic that I will be using. I'm so using the tactic that I used to avoid the wooden spoon in the final round of the final week. But I'm not going to tell everybody what the tactic was.
Then why tease it on the show?
So that people can watch me do it.
Okay. All right. So you'll actually stream it.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, no. I mean, 5v. I've streamed it for 3v3. I think I only streamed like 2 rounds. There's 9 rounds. That's how much I did not like 3v3. I'm here. I'm sat in front of the computer and I'm looking at my phone. The 3v3 is on, and I'm just. It's like no. I'm just the everything that's happened within the game has just got me so lethargic about playing it at all that I just it's like no.
But I'm going to put this.
Swugger does not get an hour of my. I'm not going to give Swugger an hour of my time on it.
Don't you tell people that they have to stream it to be on GA Center?
I changed the rules for the last season. I said if you can't stream, don't worry about it. You're still a content creator.
Okay, I wasn't told that, so.
Okay. Oi, you wolf! Oh, there, Wolf. You were watching me on the Wolfell must have been watching me on RSG. So it was it was probably one of the dirtiest rounds because he spot it. It was one of the dirtiest rounds I think I've ever participated in. Right as soon as it started, I did 1 attack and failed just for the 10 banners. And then I didn't attack for the rest, and this guy would have got, obviously he knew that I was there. So he probably just assumed, oh, this guy doesn't really compete. He just gets the 10 banners. So he did 1 attack, got his 68. And then I just watched. And then as soon as the 10-minute mark hit, I just hit the 4 squads with my 4 strongest squads that I knew I could kill off in 5 minutes. So I got 5. So I basically clocked up 4 wins in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Because I still make content, Cascade, and so do every other, all of the other competitors. Some people stream more than Swugger. Some people do stream more than Swugger. I mean, look at Grid. Grid's one. Grid does other games. Princess Scribbles, Scribe, he does other games. So yeah.
I mean, is there any saving grace to 3v3 for you?
Not them. No, not them. I mean, it's only going to get worse. The next 3v3 is going to be even worse with more datacons. So yeah, no, 3v3 is just, yeah. It's just I can't explain it. The feelings I have. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm praying to RN Jesus that I don't feel this way about 5v5. I really, really am, and I should have been. I should have been pumped about this 3v3 because I just got my C ultimated about halfway through, so I have a C, And then what happens? Not one single opponent I face has a Ray that they put on defense. So it's like,
well,
what?
maybe you'll start seeing more Ray when
oh God,
when you get Ben Swallow.
Yeah, if I'm still playing, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting. Oh, yes, it's going to be interesting.
Well, I mean, and anything else from this past week? There really wasn't much to talk about. Just a quick hot fix in the background. If I'm correct, I'm just verifying here. We got word from Meathead that they have nothing else to share at this time about when the mod or relic update will be coming out. There was a hot fix on the 10th. We got a bunch of possible new incoming packs on the 9th that included all the ships that you need for the Profundity. We were and we're going to talk to Crumb about this. They're already halfway through to their goal for the Extra Life 2022 charity event. We're going to talk to him about that because there's stuff tied in. If they hit their goal in that at the end of September, we're going to see some stuff in Galaxy of Heroes.
Oh, that should be interesting.
So, I'm looking back to see all the other crazy stuff. Yeah, so that was pretty much it for the week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a full week. It was a very, very full week. I think everybody's enjoying the break. Going from 3v3 to 5v5, people enjoy that 1 week break more than they enjoy the break between 5v5 to 3. Because the break from 5v5 to 3v3 is like 1 week of impending doom. Whereas the break from 3v3 to 5v5 is like, oh God, thank God, we're going back to, it'll be a little bit more interesting this time.
Well, it also corresponds, the off week corresponds with when Conquest is on, when Light Side Territory Battles is on.
Thankfully,
yeah. Yeah, it's not going, it's not a bad thing, in my opinion. There's already so much going on.
It's a good business decision to make because they want people spending time in Conquest more than they are spending time in GAC because they make money from Conquest. They don't make money from GAC. So it does make more sense for people to be, keyed in and wired in to Conquest for a full week because, people will do, buy crystals to do refreshes, not just on getting through and being able to do feats, but also that node at the end that gives them more datacom materials. There are whales and krakens going absolutely nuts with refreshes on that stuff, just so that they can have more level 9 conquests and get the rolling materials so that they can have enough materials to roll until they get the character and the specials that they like.
And if that's how they want to spend their money, who are we to judge for that?
No.
Boninator says they need to swap the territory battles, though. Too much light side territory battles and conquest at once. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's better to have light side territory battles not during GAC. Because you are already messing with your mods. You don't have to mess with them as much, but you go in and you hit that sign up button and you don't relock your roster, you're up crap crick without a paddle.
Yeah.
Padfoot says, what about Loki? He stopped doing GAC months ago and is now at 3,597, but was top 5 in Kyber 1.
No. Let's give Sir Loki his credit. Sir Loki was number 1. He was number 1 in the world and he quit. He quit a few weeks after that. He's not spending because of datacons. He quit because of datacons. As did Warrior. Warrior quit again as well. So there are people who are big spenders, who simply will not spend when it comes to datacons because they'd already spent obscene amounts of money making their rosters good so that they could do what so Loki spent a lot of money on his account to be number one, and then CG brings datacons out and it's like, well, if you want to be number one now, you've got to do this, and it's like, no, forget it, you've had enough of my money, I'm done, forget about it. And he was but we're not talking we're talking Leviathan level, Leviathan level, spent an alpha consumer, one of those people that spends lots of money in order to enjoy their hobby.
Wasn't he also a beta tester, though?
I'm not sure if he was a beta tester.
He was.
Was he?
Yes.
He was a beta tester. Yeah.
So, all right. Let's take a break, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, it's going to be a short break because you didn't do GA Center yet, so I'm not going to unveil the final Patreon leaderboard.
We haven't done GA Center yet, no.
So there is no Patreon leaderboard in this break. There is no story time coming up in the middle break because we are going limited commercial interruption with SB Crumb in just a moment, right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards, including after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
We want you. Join the GAC Chain Gang today. This is the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion and the leader of the GAC Chain Gang. I am sending out a call to action for any SWGOH content creators on Twitch who would be willing to broadcast their GAC attack rounds. We are an amazing group of content creators who are dedicated on streaming the Grand Arena Championship attack rounds on Twitch. The idea is to provide continuous content back-to-back from one streamer to the next and allow the viewers to enjoy more SWGOH content as well as enjoy the variety of streamers that are currently present in the group. If you are interested in joining the Chain Gang, please reach out to myself on Discord at AndyBees, #7465, or you can send us a message on our Twitter page at ChainGAC. Join us today. We have your back.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission. Attention. Attention. We are receiving an incoming transmission.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's incoming transmission time. We don't really need to introduce this person.
Yeah, that's
Paul,
what I was. Yeah,
Paul, you should probably do that. Just
all
for
right.
those that don't know who our guest
All right.
is.
Well, no, actually, Neil, ladies and gentlemen, our guest needs no introduction.
There you go.
That's okay.
That'll work.
just mic drop right there. Hey, hey, folks, how you guys doing? Good to see you, Paul and Nev. Great to be on here.
So, Crumb, for those who don't know, Crumb from Capital Games, community manager extraordinaire for the company overall, right? No longer just SWGOH.
Yes. My reach is expanded. My kingdom is growing. But yeah, I mean, still, SWGOH is still my first and true love, of course. So
there we go.
You know.
Well, first off, from us to you and Capital Games, congratulations on the soft launch.
Thank you very much.
Home.
Thank you very much. It seems like that's been going very well. It's I can't wait to roll out to a couple more regions so people can really get their hands on it. But yeah, so far so good. You know, it's so funny to be at the start of this because I missed out on the start of Galaxy Heroes by like a year or two, and now to like be at the kind of like cusp of being able to get to the beginning of this one, it's kind of very exciting to be in that position. And it looks great. It's been a lot of fun to play. Though I'll admit I've still been playing a lot more Galaxy Heroes than I have been playing Heroes of Middle Earth. So
awesome. So, I mean, you've got. How many accounts do you actually have overall in the game?
In the game itself, so I have a personal account that is like not on any kind of like dev things like that. It's just me, my own money I've spent on that account. It's what I played before I joined the company. You know, I played for several years. Actually, you know who actually got me into this game was Meathead. Tuscan Meathead was the guy who got me in this game at my previous job, and so I played for a while, and then so that's my own account, and then I have probably 2 sort of test accounts that are maxed out, but they are not like on the live servers necessarily. They are on my own sort of private little space. And then I have about, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I decided to go through like the new player experience again and just start from scratch and just like go totally free to play, nothing on this account, and just go through that. And that was a great experience to just kind of get back to like remember what it was all like from the start and to like be, you know, crunched on things like credits and stuff. Like it's a whole totally different experience from where like what you need to upgrade and stuff like that. And then I've got we'll say a work account that's got some more stuff on it for me to try out some of the more advanced things in on Galaxy Heroes. So I guess what is that, 5-6 accounts? I guess I'd say
five accounts by my count. But yeah. I've always wanted to know, and you know, and yes, people, I'm giving him some softball questions here before we start throwing the fast pitches. Okay?
Yeah, we'll get to some good ones. Don't worry.
You know, looking back, doing the new user experience, what part of the game do you go, okay, this is where it hooks them? You know, what was your experience that hooked you on the game before and since doing the new player experience now?
Yeah, it's the first time, like I know exactly when this moment was. It was when the first time I played the CLS event, and I finally got all the characters I'd worked on, and I'd done the Thrawn stuff. I'd worked on my Phoenix team, you know, and I was all right. I'm finally ready to go for CLS, and you finally get to go through like a campaign for the first time, because I hadn't really been playing much, like, you know, the territory battle stuff, or even much of the raids at that point. I was kind of like not super into the guild side of things yet. And so when I got to like actually experience the story and like walk through that whole story arc that's in the CLS campaign, that was like the thing that like really hooked me. It's like, oh, there's so much more here that I haven't seen that's like that really captures the Star Wars experience that I want to check out. And so that was it for my first time. I think the second time was when you start like getting into like the Grand Arena for the first time, and you're like, okay, I've got 3 squads maybe and then I can put together, what am I going to do here too? So that was actually a lot of fun, is trying to figure out more of the PvP side of things. Because for me, when the first time around, like, I don't think Arena was that compelling to me. I think Arena's fine. It was, you know, it was fine when I was, you know, when I got Jedi Knight Revan and I was at the top of my Arena shard for a little while before I joined the company. I was like, yeah, all right, we got this thing. We're doing great. But I think Grand Arena is where you really starts to like bringing it all together in a way that feels really good. So it was probably Grand Arena for the second time. And that's like, I was already at the company when I got Jedi Knight Revan. So yeah, I was that was on my personal account though, that I managed to do pretty well in Arena for the first time, and like be at the cusp of the meta finally, and like actually be ahead of the game a little bit. So that was fun. Did
you get close enough to the top to join a shard chat?
No, I stayed away from that.
Experienced the shard chat?
I've never experienced the shard chat. I've stayed away from that. I'm not. I was good, but I wasn't that good.
I ran a shard chat. I ran a shard chat once for one of my alts. And then you guys dropped the hyperdrive bundle, which was, thank you so much for that, because that free to play account was killing it at level 78, and then you dropped the hyperdrive bundle, and I went from top 20 to not even making the top 200. So I was like, don't worry guys, I'll still run it. And yeah, it got nasty to the point where everybody left my shard chat and went to another one because I wouldn't impose rules on people. It was like, you know, gentlemanly conduct.
Sure.
And because I was like, I wouldn't. Yeah, so I'm so glad to see the back of that. So you never experience, but it's good. It's good that you never had to experience the misery that is a Squad Arena shard. Because Fleet Arena shard chats, so much fun. They're really, really easy. But Squad Arena shard chats, no.
It seems like Fleet Arena is a little bit more of a tighter, like smaller group of folks that are in that thing at the top, and so. Yeah, I've chatted with a couple of folks in my Fleet Arena shard for sure. Never like in any kind of like formal capacity as you would say, but you know, just to like, hey, what time's your payout at? Oh, okay, cool, great. Let me get in right now, real quick.
It's nice to be able to still get number one in, because free to play those 400 crystals, I so need them. So you know, and it's a great bunch of people who I've known for, you know, between 3 and
4+ years. Yeah, it's funny. There's a couple people on my list that I realized I've been chatting to since like pretty much I started in that Fleet Arena chat. So
I even got to host a GAC match between 2 people in there. They chat. They jumped at this like, oh, we're fighting against. There's 3 of us and we're in a group. I'm like, guys, I will totally host on my channel a live GAC if you get to. And I did. It was brilliant.
And it was fun.
So much fun. It was so much fun.
Well, I mean, we loved doing speed GAC. That was a lot of fun. We did. You know,
we did several fight nights,
and we've done fight nights as well.
We got some cracking. We did do some cracking fight nights. So yeah.
Quick comments from the chat. Enigmatic Potatoes says Arena sucks. He's glad it's a dead mode, or she, not sure. Subtle Dagger says getting into a fun, engaged, positive guild is what kept me hooked.
Oh yeah, that definitely helps a lot.
Subtle Dagger said CLS was also one of the things that got him hooked. Icehouse says CLS is still a character that I use daily. And Bodhi says shard chats only need one rule. Don't be an eggplant.
Yeah. CLS still a great character, still really solid. I love playing with that team. It's just like there's something about how it all fits together, especially with the C3PO 2PO mashup as part of that team now. Man, that thing just runs like a well-oiled machine. It's so good.
So Neil, what else you got? What else you got for Crumb?
Okay, so you know how much I love GAC.
I've heard and seen and experienced.
Heard and seen how much. So it's time. It's time for a couple of hardballs. First hardball.
All right, hold on. Let me get my catcher mitt here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
First hardball. Okay. During the great nerf of 2021, I think it was at the beginning of summer of last year. Multiple characters were nerfed. Obviously, it kind of stung a little bit. It was, but you
did the defense penetration changes and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, you did refund. I mean, and you know, credit to you for refunding and giving people the option to re-relic. But my hardball is CG at the time said that these nerfs were required in order to balance the game, or balance GAC. Why then did you introduce did CG introduce datacrons to Grand Arena Championships, which created an imbalance? Does that mean we're going to get everything unnerved, or has the policy of keeping Grand Arena Championships balanced gone? Because here's the thing: you came up with the new format for GAC. You know, the matchmaking. Yes, the matchmaking is off it, but the skill rating point system. You know, it's a one continuous ladder all the way up, and it's based on you know, certain there are certain factors. The problem with those factors is you don't factor in datacons. It just doesn't. So it is creating a legitimate imbalance. So 2021, you make changes and nerf characters to create balance, and 2022, you introduce something that immediately creates an imbalance at the top. It may only be at the top at the moment. It may only be really, really affecting people right at the top. But as time goes by and as sets filter out and people get refunded and they get certain amounts, they'll be able to generate more and more, and it will snowball and it will continue, and it will go from Kyber 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to, you know, right now the imbalance just seems to be in Kyber 1 and partially in Kyber 2. It's going to filter down. So why? I suppose I'm asking you, why create an imbalance?
There's a lot of pieces to that. So when we made the defense penetration changes and removed like ignoring defense penetration, it was primarily to open up the design space for us to do more things. And you could see that with a lot of characters like the Omicrons, right? And in things like Grand Arena and a lot of different spaces that give us the space where now it's not just like there's gas and there's 3 other characters at the top, and that's kind of it until you get to GLs. And so it was very stratified in the difference between those kind of things, in the different kinds of characters you could get. And as we pulled that away, it gives us more space to design in the in-between kind of gray area, and to give that ability for some characters to hit up a little bit higher and some characters to hit up a little lower, depending on what mode they were in. And that is why we made those changes primarily. Datacron sits on top of the whole system in the sense that it doesn't necessarily like just try to destroy balance. That's not our goal with that, of course, but is to create a system that is repeatable, that allows you to invest in. So if I come in, we could take a step back. If I come in 6 months from now and I want to compete and I've got a decent squad, but I haven't been competing in Datacrons, I can spend the time, because Datacrons are ephemeral and they disappear after time, to then catch up to folks who are up there at the top, right? Datacrons are designed to be that temporary boost of power, but it's part of also your roster's general power. Like, how much are you participating in Conquest? How much are you playing all the other game modes and territory wars that help create your power of your roster? And so, Grand Arena has never been a thing that's entirely skill-based, right? Not everyone is on the same playing field. There's rosters, there's Zetas, there's all sorts of things they've had in the past. Datacrons are another one of those things that change the balance of like how much you've participated, how long you've participated, and your skill does still matter here a lot. Like people know how to beat these things and to theory craft around them. We want to make sure that space is there. That all being said, I think there's a lot of learnings we have to do around Datacrons, like as well, and that the great thing is that we can tune them from set to set about how much of an impact they make. So if they're making too much of an impact in Grand Arena, and as you're talking about, like where it feels like I either have a Datacron and it really messes with the balance, then we can tune that back over time. And in the next set or the next two sets, we go back the other direction. We make it a little bit lighter. And that kind of like that's the thing where like the balance for Datacrons is able to be messed with so much and fluid for us that makes it a way easier for us to then not have those like giant balance changes like we had in last year, where we said, hey, we've got to make these big swath of changes and we have to change a lot of stuff. We'd rather not do that ever if we can ever avoid it, of course. And Datacrons allows us to kind of like check to see, is this the right level of balance? And if not, we can swing it back without having to do major nerfs. So like it is related to those things and is part of that whole plan that we had to try and build out the system of like how you sort of change power in the game. But it is not here to disrupt like the overall balance of how Grand Arena works, if that makes sense. Sorry, Paul, you wanted to say something.
Well, I just want to pop in because HK2285 in chat says something similar to about what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted everybody to get into Datacrons, why can't we use them in territory battles? Why can't we use them in the assault battles? Why can't we use them in modes outside of PvP? Why are we restricted? If you want to appeal to everybody with these things, why don't you let me use that in the assault battle that when it comes up, so that maybe I might be able to 3-star the Night Sister, one. That makes sense to me because it's like you're ignoring an entire half of the player base with this thing. That's my gripe.
Sure. I mean, I think the main focus for Datacrons, at least initially, and again, all this stuff is subject to change, I should say, is that they're primarily around PvP modes, right? They are designed to be a power growth in a PvP environment. Our PvE content doesn't scale with that stuff, right? And so the more if we have to worry about balancing for PvP as well, it makes the equation so much more complicated. That's not to say we may not include those in PvE environments in the future, but Datacrons were designed to be facing other folks with Datacrons or in that space where Datacrons exist, not in Conquest, for example, or in territory battles, as you mentioned. That being said, there's always that possibility that it may come to that in the future. It's more that our original balance is around that is initially. Like
Big Country Mag says, tell that to light side Geonosis territory battles.
Yeah, that's there's still some very difficult pieces of PvE content in this game for sure. And also we don't want to trivialize that stuff, right? Like if we make it so that it's just like, well, you have a Datacron and then you just solve this problem, then that feels bad too, that like the investment you made to try and beat the territory battle in the past is now not nearly as valuable because you kind of already just roll over it. And so there's a very fine line we have to try and drive with like where all this balance lies, and adding PvE on top of that to all the PvE stuff is another set of balance things that I'm not smart enough to understand as I'm not a designer myself, but I'm sure if I talk to someone like CG Mouse and say, hey, could you balance this for a whole other set of modes? He'd be like, what are you talking about? Let me rip my hair out.
One more thing, and then I'll throw it back over to Neil. When are you going to let every single journey guide character or object be able to be practiced? For example, the Geonosis territory battle, you get one shot every 28 days to try the cam mission. Why can't people practice during the off season?
Yeah, I think it's something I've talked about a lot, is just like any of the things in like with Datacrons, like I really pushed them for them to be in arena for this exact reason, right? Where if you only have one shot in Grand Arena or Territory Wars to see what these things and experience them, it's going to be really, really hard to make the right judgment call for like, how do I further invest in these characters? What is the smart thing for me to do as a player to where I upgrade my characters, right? And I think that is a challenge for territory battles as well, because you said you get a so limited number of shots. Now the stakes are a little lower because, right, like it's not PvP. It's your crystals aren't based upon that. It's not about territory wars and the rewards there around R9 things like stuff like that. But that being said, I think it's a very valuable concern of just like, how do I make sure I nail this every once in a while? Because it is still valuable resources you're getting there. I don't want to diminish that. I think the solution, though, is more complicated for us to design a special space to be able to do that kind of stuff, to be able to like, because there's so many different iterations of it. There's so many different permutations, even in just like one node that we could do. So it comes down to with everything we do, right? Is like where do we spend our time and where do we spend our energy developing stuff? And is that the biggest thing on our plate right now versus something else versus another thing? And so it just comes down to a hierarchy of things. But I think like that is something we're concerned about, is like, how do I practice and be smart around this stuff? Because we don't want to feel like you're blindsided. Like, oh man, if I just done this thing, I could have been way better in, GOTB for light side or whatever.
I'm just going to say this. I can go back and I can play that CLS event till the cows come home if I wanted to. Why can't I do that for the Reek mission? Why can't lower guilds do that for the Acklay mission so they can understand it? Neil, that's just my
100%.
That's just
I agree. It's a really cool idea.
Nev, go over to you, man.
I did have a follow-up, but there are some people posting fourth segment questions, so I'm going to ask you a couple of those. The first one, given the mental gymnastics required for datacrons at a GAC level, and because I would argue that is a legitimate criticism, because you just said that you designed it for people to be playing Datacron versus Datacron, and that isn't the case. 9 times out
in a space where Datacrons exist in PvP. I shouldn't say only Datacrons versus only Datacron teams, right? Because you're never going to have enough to fill out a squad. It's just that there should be some Datacrons in there. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So and the question, now multiply that by 50 for territory war officers. How do you plan, if at all you do, how does CG plan to support them to avoid significant burnout? Because there are a lot. I mean, I what is it? Ando? Ando 90, his guild disbanded. They're gone. They just disbanded. There's 8 people left in his guild. They just quit. They walked away from the game because it's just too, I don't know if complicated
strenuous.
Or convoluted is the word. You're stacking things on top of things on top of things on top of things.
Yeah, I mentioned this in the Heinze stream I did a few weeks ago around like mental load, right? And like brain, just capacity for how complicated something can be. And I think like there has to be a smart balance that we hit again with this. Datacrons say over and over again, all about the right balance of stuff. But where it is in the past in Galaxy Heroes, we've added more layers of stuff, but there has been time for you to just figure that stuff out in a way that doesn't feel as overwhelming as, say, something like Datacrons do, right? Where over time you can say, okay, this is the right way. I can theory craft around this and I can figure it out. For territory war officers right now, they're in a very hard spot because they have a limited amount of time to then solve another complicated layer on top of this. I think we could add another layer that's, if we added in another thing like, I don't know, this is just an example, and don't use this as like a new system that's coming, but like another like kind of Zeta or something on top of it, right? That added a whole new set of abilities, right? If that was more static and that would spend time on it, you could go and figure that out over time, and you could have the right answers. Your territorial officers could figure out the right, what those actually impacted those things are. But because of the speed of Datacrons, it makes that a lot harder to figure out, right? And now I have to reevaluate my plan essentially for my guild, every month essentially. And that is a real, like, again, is that too much cognitive load for someone to figure out? That's why I think we have to figure out what the right cadence is for Datacrons. If a Datacron lasted for 6 months, for example, would that be enough time for them to figure out and have much less burnout? Or is it a year? Is it 2 months? Is it 3 months? Like, what is the right volume there? But I think you've hit on a really important point, though, that like we need to be very careful with how much we're asking our guild officers to do, because they are very valuable members of our guilds and they work very, very hard.
Yeah,
and
we do.
We need
do you know something that you could do to Datacrons that would alleviate some of the issues? Take the lock off them.
The lock? What do you mean? Sorry.
You've got a Relic 3 lock on Datacrons. I'm not suggesting that you allow Gear 11 or Gear 12 or even Relic 0 or Relic 1 or Relic 2 characters to get the boosts, but if somebody has a squad with 2 Relic 3s on it and maybe 3 Gear 12s, they cannot apply a datacon to that squad because of the Relic 3 lock. If you remove the lock, the 2 Relic 3 characters that are part of that 5-man squad with the 3 Gear 12s, the Relic 3s would get the bonus. They would receive the benefit. The Gear 12s wouldn't. Then people can apply a datacon to whatever squad they want, as long as, 1 or 2 or maybe even 3, because not everybody has the ability to be able to take. So I have lots of squads in my roster. Some of them have got Relic 3s, some of them don't. Some of them have got Relic 5s, but not every single one of my squads are all Relic 3 and above.
Yes, I mean, the question is, does that make that even more complicated, right? To your original point of like, now I have to worry about that, like half my squad doesn't get these bonuses, but the other half does. So how much of this does it affect my squad? Is it like 60% effective now? So, I mean, it comes down again, like how complicated we want to try and
I just want to make
this whole conversation.
Yeah,
but I think there's a lot of ideas, and I think that's the next set of datacrons can always change, which I think is really the best part about them, is that we can say exactly that, where it's like, hey, by the way, the lock for this is completely different from it was last time. And or it could be targeted differently for said. It doesn't require the entire squad. The flexibility of the tool is very strong. So that's like, we could do that. And so the question is, where do we want to go with all that stuff? And I think we can, hopefully, as we get a little bit more data on what the experience is, we can see. We can see what the plan is going forward. I think one of the big things right now is I'm asking the team is like, so what's our update for the players on like the future of datacrons? We talked about an exhibition system. Where do we go from here, right? And so that's I think the big thing that I'm trying to work with the team on, is trying to figure, getting folks an update on what do we think that worked well, what didn't work well, and like what does that mean for the future of datacrons over the next 6 months, year, whatever? Because we knew coming into this thing, there's going to be changes to the system. The system is not perfect, and it needs to evolve over time. So does that solve the problem? Does it make it more complicated? Does it make it less complicated? We've got to strike that right balance. And I think we're feeling some of those sort of growing pains of trying to find that nice middle ground where it feels like datacrons are valuable, but maybe not blowing up your entire strategy for what you're doing and things like that, So, more on datacrons in the future. So it's something that I discuss with the team on a very regular basis, to say the least.
So, can we all agree to not say the D word for the rest of this interview?
Well, I don't know. Deb, you got any more questions on that? Before we wrap
any
this
more
up?
questions on datacrons before?
No.
Before I put it to bed.
I think you got a lot of really good points here, and I think like I've been putting myself and Mead, I've been putting a lot of feedback together for the team on what's worked, what hasn't worked. Actually, one question that I thought I saw brought up earlier, just before I joined, that I think would be really useful just to ask here, for you guys in particular, but for everyone else. For the schedule wise, and it's not necessarily related to Datacron specifically, but when we introduced Datacrons, we also shifted the schedule completely, right, around how Territory Battle lines up with Grand Arena, with Conquest, and all that stuff like that. How is the scheduling feel, besides all the whole Datacron piece to it? Does that feel like there's enough stuff to do each day? Does it feel like it's too spiky? There's too big a troughs of like intense engagement around different modes? Like, we tried to hit the right amount and also make it on a regular cadence, so it's a lot more predictable, because everything was offset by like 3 days sometimes. So like the scheduling kind of kept for GAC kept kind of moving throughout the month and all that kind of stuff. So actually, I'm curious to hear about the feedback on that, just because I've been looking for that a lot.
Having light side, having at least 1 week of Conquest and the light side GOTB during the break is definitely beneficial.
Cool.
It's definitely beneficial.
But that's our opinion. I'd love to get more people's opinion on it, like Crumb said. Crumb, you said that you brought a little bit of tidbits for us that but let's get people through another break real quick, and on the other side we'll talk about those little breadcrumbs that you brought us. All right?
Yeah, we'll talk about a couple fun things.
All right, coming up after these messages right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
Hotbot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's only halfway through the Crumb hour, so yeah, we're gonna keep talking.
For those of you just joining, we have the president of the Facial Hair Club for Men. Oh, I always got to get that dig in there for you. Yeah, I'm also a customer.
Yeah. I think many of us Galaxy heroes of the male persuasion have the men's beard club card in our wallets, I think so.
All right, so you gave me a question to ask, and yeah. I'm excited to ask this one. You told me to ask you, Crumb, when's the next road ahead?
So I don't think we mentioned last time exactly when it was coming, and I will say I'm not here to announce any new characters today. I'm not going to make any big proclamations about what's going on here, but I will say I just wrapped up filming Road Ahead with Meathead and several people from the office, and we've got kind of a little special, different. We're going to try something a little different this time. I've grabbed people who are the masters of their domain to talk about something they're excited about and that's upcoming to the game in the future. And so you won't just hear from me and Meathead, you're going to hear from a bunch of other folks in the studio about something that they've been working on and be able to share that out. So the goal, and I'm not going to set this in stone, but is for early to mid-September, we've got a video coming out that'll show off some really cool stuff that I think you guys are gonna be pretty stoked on. There was a lot of big questions around, economy changes and what's coming next around PvE stuff and big announcements around like that and stuff. And so again, I'm nothing here today, but there's a lot of things coming related to mods. There's some really cool stuff that besides the quality of life stuff we mentioned last time, there's a lot more stuff coming around that. That's going to be really, really cool. But I think there's going to be some really, really awesome things that you guys will be pretty stoked on. Some things I don't think you expect that are going to be coming down the pipeline that you're going to be like, well, I didn't think they'd ever do that. So that's going to be really cool.
One yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
State of the Galaxy 2.0 finally?
That's not fair. I was about to ask how many State of the Galaxies or road aheads before we actually get, the update to the Gear Crunch from the State of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I was pressured into asking that one, but I have to ask it as an investigative reporter.
There's a couple things we got to wrap up from phase 1 still. There's like 3 or 4 things that we committed to in that original one that we need to finish up and wrap up first before we start going anywhere else in the future. But I think there are times when those things are going to line up nicely for us to talk about in the future. So hopefully we can talk about them soon. I hesitate to say it'll be in this next road ahead, but very soon in one of these next coming updates. I really, really want to get this out to you guys because it's been a while since we talked about them and we really need to get them out there. So hopefully soon.
You are going to announce something. It's not just because obviously we've heard nothing about it on the forums. And
you're talking about just Road Ahead's going to announce some new things.
No,
yes,
no,
there'll
no,
be some
no.
new things in Road Ahead.
no. The state of the Galaxy thing, like you just said, phase 1 has to be finished before you can move on to phase 2. Will you be announcing when and what you're going to complete from phase 1 before moving on to phase 2?
And I'm going to piggyback on that. Will you announce that this is the completion of phase 1?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we committed to a list of things of what we wanted to do. There's maybe a couple other things we're thinking about as well. It's tied into around the next mod updates and things like that we'll be doing. And I think once those are all wrapped up, I think that's probably the end of phase 1. I think that all makes sense. One of the things I will tell you, and this has not been uttered anywhere, but things I'm super excited about. Everyone keep this in their hats. I'm not supposed to talk about this. One of the changes that we have around for the mods changes is we're finally removing 4 dot mods from the challenges and replacing them with 5 dot mods. So I am just, it's not even that we're removing them, we're replacing them with 5 dot mods. We're just gonna get more 5 dot mods out of the max tier of that challenge. So man, I can't tell you. There's other fun things. That's not like a major announcement or anything. But personally, as someone who just hates going through and clearing out my 4 dot mods, that is something I'm exceptionally looking forward to in the next title update as well.
But we didn't hear that.
No one heard this. Sorry,
no one heard
raps.
Belga says, "Are you removing 3 dots as well?"
No, we're gonna leave the 3 dots. No, at the max tier, I can't remember if at the max tier. I think the max tier only drops 4. Oh no, it might drop 3. It does drop some of the less than that.
It does drop some.
Those are all getting only 5 dots from the last tier of the mod challenge.
But we did not hear this.
But we didn't hear this. So there's a couple more things like that are really cool. But I want to at least let you guys know that that's coming because it's a small thing, but it's a big thing in my heart.
No, when you're doing 3 refreshes. Mod farming and half of them come out as 4 dot mods, it's a little bit frustrating. It's phone hole in wall size frustrating. Okay, it's not a pretty thing. It really isn't. And let's not forget. Galaxy of mods. Mods are maybe not as important as data.
Well, they're still a huge deal.
They're still very, very important. So knowing that you are taking 10 spins to get 10 mods, and you're going to get 10 5 dot mods, not 5 dot mods and 5 4 dot mods that are instantly going to go into the trash.
Yeah, you just throw
your energy's just gone, and you've wasted a 50 crystal refresh.
But Neil, I'm going to say you still need mods because you need to multiply the percentages by what you've modded.
Yeah,
for your
mods
data
are still a big deal.
I'm spending 150 crystals every single day farming for mods, and if half of them are 4 dot and I'm trashing them, that's 75 crystals I've wasted farming for mods. So, add that, every single day after day. Yeah, it's, maybe if I'm definitely getting them, maybe I'll only do 2 refreshes a day.
I sat down with the feature folks who were working on the mod stuff. They said, hey, by the way, this is happening as well. I'm like, wait, you should have led with that. Why didn't you tell me that from the start of this conversation? That's a huge deal. So yeah, that'll be a big deal. A big deal to me. I think it's still a pretty big deal because you will be getting more mods in general, and then just the time saving of just having to go back and trash those things and the emotional damage that, as Nev, as you've said, of just being like, well, okay, well, half these things just go down the drain. So that'll be really cool. So that was one of the things I wanted to mention here, was just that there's gonna be more stuff coming around mods, a lot of cool new things around quality of life stuff, but also some other changes around mods that'll be happening. And then the other thing I wanted to just quickly mention, of course, is like Java coming out, in the not so distant future here, but we have the second set of requirements, I think, coming next, or the next set of requirements coming next week. And there's a new marquee that will also be coming live next week. That will be a requirement, but will also be a really good fit in the Java squad. And I don't know if I want to give any more away than that. I kind of want to let the speculation about who could this character be, but you might have to go a little undercover to figure out who this person is, I'll say.
I got that. Undercover.
Who said that? Huh? Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, I got it. Okay. And I can't. And you're not letting me say it. You're not letting me say it. Before we get too far into it, coming up at the end of next month, you do have a charity event, and you guys are already halfway to your goal.
Yeah, it's been super, super amazing so far already. We were shooting for 20K this year. It's a lofty goal, but it goes to a really great cause. We're once again supporting Children's Miracle Network and UC Davis Children's Hospital to really try and raise as many donations as we can. I mean, Extra Life's a great organization that helps us really play games and raise money for a great cause. Like, why would you not want to do this? So, yeah, we're about halfway there, and there's a bunch of fun milestones this year. We the Galaxy Heroes team let us do some in-game things if we hit some certain milestones. We already hit the 10K one. There's already the 5K one, and so we got a 15K one and a 20K one. The 20K one's got some real meaty stuff in there, so I really hope we can hit that one, because there's free packs, some extra additive drops, a cool inbox gift, a bunch of extra capital ship events and things like that. It's gonna be a really big deal if we can hit that one. So I really hope we can. But leading up to the main event, we've been streaming a bunch as well. I try and stream once a week or so, depending on what's going on with my life. I have, as many of you know, I just have a newborn child, so that's been somewhat challenging to figure out a schedule to make that, and also not let my wife kill me when I'm, playing video games. I'm like, oh, it's for a good cause, honey. I swear. And she's like, just take the baby. No, I'm just kidding. She's great. I love my wife. She's amazing as well. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Take
the
baby. But not just on I have my own channel, of course, that I've been streaming on, but on the main channel as well. There's been a bunch of folks from the studio who've also been streaming. So follow that channel as well, of course, for the big day on September 24th. We'll be having the whole studio get together again, like we always do every year, and that's sort of the main event. But even leading up to that, there's a whole bunch of other folks streaming as well. I think Jen, one of our development directors, has been streaming out there as well occasionally, so go check out her and support her, and any number of the folks in the stream in that Extra Life team as well. Thanks so much for everyone who's donated in my name. I really appreciate that. Always feels good to be on top of the Galaxy Heroes team, so super appreciated that. But I think I just hit $5,000 last week, and so I'm. But there's a ton of other people on there. There's Crazy. There's Meathead. There's some of the other folks like CG Miller that you've seen on there. So definitely donate to them as well.
I saw Crazy's on Twitch.
Just make sure Crazy doesn't beat me if you could. I just need to make sure I beat Crazy, because we have a little bit of a rivalry going internally here, and if I lose to her, she's never going to hear the end of it. So, please,
you did lose to her in Speed GAC. We just have to point that out.
Well, did I lose really? I mean, it was a friendly. We were all in it together, right? We all won and lost together, comrade.
We did. We had a lot of fun with that. So speaking of Meathead, I need to know if Meathead brought this 2.5 foot by 5 foot poster back to the office like you promised.
Yes, he did. It's sitting next to my desk. It is in the office. There's this beautiful sign that you had printed out for a certain someone. And I was really sad I couldn't make Celebration this year. It just lined up right as my wife was having the kids, so it was like just the worst timing. If biology could have changed or God could have done something different, it would have been great. But I couldn't make it this time. But Meathead was there, a bunch of the other folks. I'm so glad you guys would make it down there as well. But yes, the sign is safe. We have kept the sign. It lives on in our office as a constant reminder that question.
Hondo Onaka is not in the game.
That he is not here. Where is Hondo? He's like the Where's Waldo of Galaxy Heroes. Where is that man? Where is he hiding?
Well, I'm going to ask you that question. I'm going to officially ask him that question, Neil.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say is, real quick, I was going to mention that actually right after this, myself and Meathead, you brought up Meathead, and I totally forgot to mention this. We're going to be streaming a bit for probably like an hour or so. Meathead and I have been playing a bunch of Magic together, and he got a bunch of cool packs. We're going to open a bunch of packs on stream for fun. If you want to join us, would love to have you. But if not, hang out, of course, with Paul and Nev here, and make sure you watch the rest of their stream. But we'll be hanging out afterwards, so come by and say hello.
Over on yours or over on Extra Life?
Over on ours, over on SB Crumb.
SB Crumb. Okay. I'll make sure we rate. Yeah, we'll rate. We'll rate.
Thank you guys.
We can rate it. On the subject of, obviously Paul's like, where's Hondo? Somebody mentioned it in chat, and I'll follow it up. How much longer do we have to wait for the new a community manager? Because it's been a while since it's been a while.
Meathead's been holding down the fort, but I don't have anything to announce just yet, but we have someone who's taken the position. So we'll be figuring out how we're divvying up the different roles between the different teams. I will say there will be a Galaxy Heroes community manager, and there will be a Heroes of the Middle Earth community manager, and they'll be in separate roles, because I think we really need a dedicated person to each of these products, at least one. So they're not going to like overlap between them a bunch. I think just because while they're similar games, they're in such different parts of their game's life that I don't think it makes sense to try and like all this mishmash together. So there will be a dedicated Galaxy Heroes community manager very soon. I don't want to make any announcements for them yet, but
there will be one
very soon. Very soon. We have signed the paperwork. It is all in order. We are just figuring out the final details. So hopefully I can announce that in the not so distant future. So
next Sunday, AD.
Yeah, exactly. But it is confirmed. It is happening. It is a huge weight off my back that we have solved this, and we have someone else coming in here. So I'll let you as soon as I can tell you. I would love to tell you and let them do their job. So,
Neil,
hopefully, do they swug? Can you at least tell us if they swugger?
Yes, they swugger. Yeah, it's again. We'll have to see how everything lays, but whoever's on Galaxy Heroes has to be a Galaxy Heroes player for sure, just to know
I like
the details of this game, because it's got such a history. It's such got a vibrant, awesome community that like you have to be involved in this thing. You have to know what it's all about, and you have to play the game to really get there.
Because a new community manager is going to be bugged to play to stream GAC.
They gotta play.
It'd be a great way for everybody to get to know them, wouldn't it?
I think everyone, I'd say almost everyone in our studio should play the game. I think almost everyone that I know does, at least some degree. And so all of our designers, big Galaxy Heroes players, folks on the engineering team, the QA folks, all of them play this game a ton, have been playing it, some of them since the beginning. So I think it really helps for you to when you're developing this game and working on it, to really know what the source material in depth. I don't think that's always a requirement for a lot of game companies, but for us, it's like a big part of our culture that you're touching the game and feeling with it all the time. So
why couldn't you convince any of them to come play during the content creators versus CG bloody?
They did.
They did.
We got Niv.
Who won that?
Who won it? Yeah.
Who won? Oh, my mistake. Was it you guys? Oh no, it was a CG developer who won that.
Yeah. Hey, I was an impartial announcer
that knows that, yeah.
All right, so we've touched on the charity event. You let me ask the road ahead, but I now really, really need to know. I have already asked about Hondo, but do you have any other hints about what's coming next for Galaxy of Heroes? And of course, Puzzle when?
Puzzle when is a great question. It's a great question. I've got a very, very ambitious puzzle that I'm pretty close to wrapping up, but I think it's going to be so after we get through Jabba, we got to get through Jabba and all that fun stuff.
Okay, after Jabba. Okay.
After Jabba, so out in there, because I think this will be kind of I'm going to try and kick off the next big set of things we're all going to play with the puzzle. I don't know. For some reason, NASA won't return my calls, so I can't get something on the space station this time. But hey, it's still going to be pretty. It's still going to be a pretty good puzzle. It's going to be something that we've never seen before, which is like what I always want to do. I don't want to do the same thing over and over again, right? I don't want to. They can't ever become rote and just very samey, right? I always got to do something weird and wacky, and this one certainly lives up to the weird and wacky side of things.
Do not send people out into the middle of nowhere again, okay?
There'll be no worry. I don't think you won't have to travel anywhere specifically, at least, Paul, I'll say, to find this stuff. But we got to try something different. I can get you with NASA. I might have a guy. There's a couple people in the studio who used to work for NASA too. I'm not
Houston.
Joking.
I'm in Houston. I got NASA here.
Send me a message on Discord, and I will love to talk to you. If you can think we can get in there and we can get a message somewhere hidden in the background of an ISS broadcast, So I'd love to hear from you guys. But yeah, puzzle. Man, this is going to be a doozy. This is going to be a fun one. I always say I think this is going to be the hardest one yet, but then our players continuously amaze me. Our puzzle masters are just insane. Let me know if you need me to print something. Yeah, so I really think this one's going to be the longest and hardest one yet, but they're always more organized than they were last time, so it's hard to even say. I think last time we hit 16 hours. I think over 16 hours.
Yeah, it was more. It was more. I had to go to sleep in between it. Woke up and somebody cracked it.
Yeah. So I hope I can beat my record this time. But I also don't want it to be just like it's impossible and I don't understand what's going on. You should understand what's going on, and it's still going to take you some time.
No more littering in Japan, okay?
Yeah, exactly. No more on the Shibuya Scramble Crossing. I'm gonna put that the Apex Legend folks. Shout out to those guys for the community manager over there who helped me put that on the Shibuya Scramble Crossing. But so Crumb making a puzzle is like when CG makes me raid. It gets solved too quickly. Yeah, dude. I spend a lot of time on these puzzles. And you guys blow them out of the water. I think I've probably spent a good 3-4 months working on this one, on and off, not every single day, but man, I can't wait for you guys to see this one. I'm pretty proud of how this one's coming together.
That the biltong, anytime I see biltong, I think of you. I'm just gonna say that.
Yes, perfect. I'm so glad I could introduce biltong to a wider audience. So that's really my only goal. I'm glad we did that.
Nev, final questions before we wrap up.
It's been a while. It's been a very, very, very while, actually. Any chance of giving us another 3 or 4 month purple period of 8 refreshes instead of 5? Because it's been donkey's years since you did that.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. I don't know. I've not heard of anything related to that. So I don't.
Great for new players. Great for the intermediate players. It's an excellent retention tool.
Yeah, I don't remember. I haven't heard about it for a long time, and I don't remember why we decided to switch to that for a while. Like, what was the impetus that kicked it all off in the first place? But I will tell you this:
Carrie was in charge.
Yeah,
that's why.
I don't think it was just Carrie, but yeah, I will. Here, what I'll tell you, Nev, is I will bring that up to the team on Monday and say, hey, by the way, we did this a while back.
Yeah,
are we ever doing it again?
Puts it in chat. Great for a fundraising goal.
With the big brain play right there. That's a smart idea.
How about and throw this on Monday. Throw this out on Monday. If we get you to 25K, give us a month of 8s.
Interesting. All right. Well, I will pass this along for sure on Monday.
That was a low ball. No, 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. 2 months.
3 months. 4 months. 5.
2.5 months to represent 25,000.
There you go.
I'm trying over here, Neil. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, you give them an inch, they take a mile. Yeah, that's a really interesting idea, though. I don't think anyone's brought that up, and I'll definitely think about what we can do around that and bring it up with the team on Monday, because that's a very interesting idea.
All right. So, any final, possibly hint-filled words for our community before we bid you adieu? Thank you for celebrating our sixth season finale with us. 181 shows if you include the one-off that we did. It's been 6 seasons of 30 shows, 3.5 years. Thank you for making this game, or being part of this game, to allow us to do this show this long.
Wow, congratulations, guys. That's quite a run. So, and I'm truly honored to be here. I always love chatting with you guys. So seriously, thank you guys so much for letting me come on here and babble about all sorts of fun stuff. I don't have any more tidbits to share. You got a couple things about what's coming in road ahead. You got a couple things about Java. I think you got anyugh for today, unfortunately. But then hopefully I won't get in trouble, at least with any of this stuff. So if I think I say any more, I might. But but anyways, thanks again for having me. Appreciate it so much for having me on.
Thanks for coming on.
All right, guys. Coming up, a new episode of Dickie and the Noob, where Dickie actually finds Hondo. We actually did find Hondo, Crumb.
What? You found Hondo?
We found Hondo.
Stick around. Where's Waldo? Where is he?
Stick around to find out right here on the Escape Podcast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Previously on Dickie and the Noob, and now the continuation. Don't freak out, Noob. I had Yarmo install a multiverse drive on your motherboard. All we need is to find a reality where Hondo isn't missing, and boom, we've got him.
Not as confused as I am about the fact that we are now made out of blocks.
Whoa, we are. This is pretty different. Rowan, do you know somebody by the name of Hondo Onaka by any chance?
I do! I know exactly where to find him.
Seriously? Can you bring us to him?
Follow me!
And now...
Dickie, why did you summon me? Do you have any progress to finally report?
I do. I actually found Hondo.
Seriously?
Yeah, I found him hiding in the multiverse.
Multiverse. So, is this even our Hondo?
Well, he's a little different.
What do you mean a little? That is a Lego minifig.
I assure you, I am the real Hondo Onaka.
In your whole minifig world, maybe, but I can't scan a Lego Hondo onto the holotables. That won't work. Besides, the royalty fees would be astounding.
Royalty fees? You've never heard of piracy? Now that is the way.
Piracy. You're an inch and a half. How would you even fight?
That is a fair point.
Look, Dickie, I'm pouring a lot of crystals into financing this expedition. I'm expecting better results than this. I want Hondo on my holotables now. Do you have any leads?
We did find his daughter.
His daughter. Can she fight?
Well, she fights with Noob all the time, but that's more with her mouth.
So I'm no closer to getting Hondo on the holotables.
Well, I think we have an opportunity. Hear me out. What gets a pirate's attention more than anything else?
I don't know. The sea?
Nah. Booty.
Fair enough.
And who has the biggest booty in the galaxy? Jabba the Hutt. And Jabba is finally coming to the holotables, and he's looking to put a crew together.
How does that help us?
We put up an announcement. Jabba is putting a crew together of the worst scum and villainy in the galaxy. Richest contracts Jabba has ever put out. There's no way Hondo will be able to resist coming out for that.
All right, I see where you're going. I like it.
All right, I'll get started right away.
Great. Don't mess this up. You two be nice to each other, damn it.
Wait, was that Paul?
Yeah.
And he didn't even want to say hi to me. How rude. I always love to hear that guy's voice. There's something so familiar about it, you know?
Yeah, well, we're really busy. We gotta get to business right away, Noob. We gotta get a dispatch out ASAP. Would you rather bare-knuckle box a Wookiee than fight Rey one more time? Would you rather drink whatever disgusting milk Luke does rather than fight him again? Would you rather milk Kylo Ren's nipples and have to endure one more battle with him? Does a battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi make you doubt the existence of any sort of deity? Does the idea of fighting Anakin again make you want to lock yourself in your room with a My Chemical Romance CD? Does all of the Sith make you lose all of your dank ferrix? Well, don't just stand there feeling sorry about it. It's time for a new sheriff to come into town. That's right, Jabba the Hutt is entering the holotables and is poised to take down the meta. But what he needs is you. He needs you to come help in the fight. So don't just sit there. Join in and become a member of the Hutt Cartel. Open auditions will be held next month on Tatooine's Got Talent. That's right, we're going to be testing all of your scoundrel skills, whether it be shooting, lying, stealing, deception. Prove that you have what it takes to help Jabba take over the meta. And best of yet, this will be the biggest contract Jabba has ever put on the table. So come collect your bounty next month, right here on Tatooine's Got Talent. Only the worst scum and villainy need apply. Pirates preferred.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's just Paul and I now.
Paul
and I here to entertain you for Patreon's choice.
But I mean, that was amazing. Amazing interview.
Yeah, no, great.
Some
Yeah, it was
fun
great,
hints. And if you missed it, go watch it on YouTube. Watch it play back on Twitch here. Preferably the YouTube version.
Yeah.
But lots of cool, fun talk. We threw some hardballs, and he caught him. You know, that's what Crumb does best. So we've got Patreon's Choice. Patreon's Choice, for those who don't know, Patreons can ask us a question about anything, and we answer it in the fourth segment. If you have channel points, you can put in a question right now. Top three Tom Cruise movies. For me, Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3.
I will go with Risky Business, this last one that he just did, Top Gun Maverick. Oh God, awesome, so good. And Tropic Thunder. He's where he's the business. That was, I mean, it was a comedic role, but I thought it was funny. He was hilarious in it. I mean, lots of profanity, but some really, really good lines. So there's my 3.
All right. Top 3 Matthew McConaughey movies.
All right. Okay.
Dazed and Confused, definitely.
Dallas Buyers Club, definitely the Dallas Buyers Club.
Also on my list.
Wolf of Wall Street. I thought he played a really good supporting role in that one. He just seems to get better with age. And what's that one? Oh, what was the lawyer one that he did with Samuel L. Jackson? I can't think of the title off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that he was the lawyer in that one. So yeah, he does a good lawyer. So yeah, there's that one.
The Lincoln Lawyer.
No, it's not the Lincoln Lawyer.
Not Lincoln Lawyer.
No, he was defending Samuel L. Jackson in the movie. It was a great movie. I wish I could remember. Mississippi
Burning or Sahara?
No, it wasn't Sahara. Mississippi Burning. He wasn't in Mississippi. He was too.
I'm looking through the list of you know.
Oh, the title will come to me. What are yours? Time to Kill. Thank you, Aldo.
So, Dazed and Confused, Dallas Buyers Club, and I'm actually going to go down the route of a rom-com, Failure to Launch. I'm not ashamed to say that I like rom-coms at times. Top 3 stand-up comedians. For me, Mitch Hedberg, Louis Anderson, and George Carlin.
Oh, George, definitely, George Carlin, definitely. I will go George Carlin, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor.
Top 3 male singers with unique voices.
Oh God. Top 3. You go first. I need to think about this.
David Draymond of Disturbed is definitely one. Is it Rick Ocasek of the Cars? I'm trying to remember. Cars lead singer. Rick Ocasek. I was right. Rick Ocasek of the Cars and Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day. Definitely an iconic voice.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Mark Ormond from Soft Cell.
Okay.
Lemmy from Motorhead.
He hates us, spades.
Yeah, that gravelly voice is just, freaking awesome. And I can't think of a third. I'm really, really. Oh no, I'll go Will Young. I'll go Will Young because Will Young. If you have to be British to know who Will Young is, really, because he didn't really go global, but he's got a cracking voice on him.
All right, Zaz then asks top 3 female singers. Evanescence lead singer Amy Lee. I know that's on your list.
Yeah.
Paramore, Hayley Williams of Paramore, and Celine Dion. Might not enjoy all of her music, but definitely has a good voice that I could, that I'm like, that song is Celine Dion. I like that song.
I'll go with Skim from Skunk Anansie and Mompson from The Pretty Reckless to go with the one, Amy Lee.
All right. Top 3 Michael Douglas movies.
We're going
Zaz
going
there.
down the Douglas. Oh God. Okay. I mean, number 1 for starters, it's got to be Basic Instinct. It's definitely Michael Douglas. Basic Instinct.
Yep.
There's one. Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile. He's just he's just brilliant in those. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed those movies when I was a kid growing up in the 80s.
The American President, Falling Down, and Fatal Attraction.
Ooh, Ray Rock just threw Wall Street in there. Yeah. You can't go wrong with a little gecko, can you? Oh, yeah. No, that's a good one. I went for the more light-hearted ones, obviously, apart from Basic Instinct, you know. Well,
all right.
What do you
Thaddeus from Going Nerdy says, most unique food you've ever eaten. I had to eat raw squid when I was in a hands on a car contest.
All right, okay.
And I did it and kept my hand on the car. I was eliminated at the 12th hour. It lasted 13 hours. Every hour they did a little mental or physical challenge. I was eliminated at the 12th hour, but because I couldn't spell parliament.
Okay. I can't. I mean, what classifies as unique?
Whatever you view as unique.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say anything that I've had is particularly unique.
Is there something that you can only get in one place? Because that would be unique.
Well, that's what I'm trying to think of. I've eaten food in like dozens of different countries. I mean, I've been to 1, 2, 3. I've been to 4 continents. You would have thought I would have had something unique, having visited 4 different continents. But oh God, I can't think of. I did eat a scorpion once.
There you go.
I did eat.
That'll
It
work.
wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, the scorpion was in a lollipop, but I had a scorpion. I did get a scorpion once. Yes.
And last question from Thaddeus, and unless anybody puts any others in the thing. By the way, once again, thank you for a wonderful season 6 finale. This has been a lot of fun.
It's been great. Yeah.
Season 7. Looking forward to that, and lots of stuff in the books that are going to be amazing, right, Neil?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
So, last question from Going Nerdy: favorite food and why is it bacon? Favorite food is not bacon. Favorite food is hot mama bread from Rosie's. I always talk about it. Still trying to figure it out, but bacon is a close second.
Yeah, but it's for me, it's a beef madras. Hands down, every time. A really, really hot, spicy beef madras with some naans and some poppadoms on the side.
All right. GA Center coming up this weekend?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. I've been busier this past 4 weeks than I have usually.
But before next Friday, at least, right?
Yeah. But it should be before next Friday. I hate missing weeks. I have had a couple of missed weeks over the past 7 seasons. I try to avoid them as much as possible. And again, I will try to avoid it as much as possible.
Hey, it was fun for Bob. It was fun for Bones to get a shot at the chair with me. So, you take the time that you need. Who knows?
Yeah,
in 2 weeks,
he's back where he belongs, floating above our heads.
But it may happen in the middle of September where he'll get another shot at my chair. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else coming up on? Are you going to do Runes of Magic this weekend?
I keep saying that I'm going to do some root, but I just get so busy. And I'm so exhausted, by the evening that it's like, well, I've got to boot the computer up, I've got to fire it up, I'll log in and I'll check my mail and I'll be like, do I really want to stream this for an hour? I've got it, I've logged in, I've checked my mail, I've got my free gift. like the free-to-play scab I am. I log in, get all my free stuff. Then log off, but I will. I'll try. You've just got to keep that notification going, because every now and then, I might pop on live.
We'll see what we can do.
You just, I can't. It's so difficult to schedule this stuff down.
Maybe this weekend, there's a game called Escape Academy. That is a couch co-op game. I might end up streaming that. There's a few other. There's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game called Shredder's Revenge. I might be doing that on Vault 37 as well. But Vault 37 Studios on Twitch, and we really appreciate that. So, anything else, Neil?
No, not off the top of my head. I really, really can't think of anything. Normally, these questions we get asked, some answers require some in-depth thought, or it's got a backstory.
But at the same time, half the time we're running really late with the guests anyway, and we have to rush through them. So
we have to rush through them. Yeah, on this occasion, we didn't have to rush through anything, which is always nice.
Yeah, it was a very nice week. Once again, thank you very much to Capital Games. Thank you very much to Crumb for coming on the show. We really, really, really do appreciate talking to them, having them on, and hope to do so more in the future. So
we could get an early raid in on him, because is he live?
Yeah, he's live.
Oh, then when we can get a raid in now while there's still plenty of people in chat to go and raid. Don't forget your channel points in. Stay with the raid, get your channel points.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this Season 6 finale. We'll see you next week for the beginning of Season 7. Until then, on behalf of Nev, I'm Paul Anthony. Be nice to each other, damn it. Neil, what you got?
Push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuit. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.